Happy winter. Set the edge here to light a fire underneath you. Passionate. Bringing energy. The Browns are out. You wouldn't know it on this fucking show. A lot of passion here today. Passion.
Maybe a lot of pent up, right?
Either's fine.
I don't know.
Either
one. Both, maybe. Anger going on right now.
Look, it's been when you have a head cold, which I'm battling, and then you're working and it's cold outside and you look in your fridge like, motherfucker, I need to go to the grocery store. It's been one of those days. And then I'm reading about Deshaun Watson coming to the Browns rumors. And that's how we're starting off here today.
Browns fans just like to keep it spicy, We just like to mix shit up.
Holly Wetzel's there. I'm Andy Billman here. And Holly Wetzel just said it. We can't have mild. We got to go at least medium to buffalo sauce to fucking atomic. Like that. I'm just going to lead off. There's another article came out today from another blogger saying we should get Deshaun Watson. I will let my wonderful co-host take the next step, but I'm going to lead off with this torch. This shit's got to stop. We finally got shit figured out in this town. We got our quarterback. We got our coach. We got our organization. They all get along in harmony. We're not talking about, hey, Seth Wickersham articles and porno things going on in the office. We're not talking about people doing cell phone calls on the sidelines. We're not talking about making the owner say, hey, I talked to a bum on the street. They think we should draft Johnny Manziel. Here we go. We beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs in Pittsburgh. And what's our offseason been bantering about? I've been stunned by this. Deshaun Watson should come to Cleveland. Why the fuck? Why now? We just got this shit fixed. And now it's like getting a car. You just fix the car. I really want a Porsche. But you just fucking fix the car. You just fix whatever, a Ferrari. Why do you want a fucking Porsche? Drive the fucking Ferrari. Holly, you can take it off. I don't understand it. I'm very frustrated by it.
Well, look, Porsche and Ferrari, right? I mean, comparing those two, they're not equal. Right. Baker still has a lot of work to do. Watson is phenomenal. I mean, I think that, of course, you always want to entertain those type of ideas, and it's fun to discuss and see if maybe that might be a possibility. But no, at the end of the day, you don't do it. You don't actually do it. I think, look, that we're going to get into, obviously, whether or not you extend or sign Baker or what that looks like. But I think for right now, where we're at, we're building, we're in a good spot. I think that when you start to shift your focus like that, then you're never going to really build anything that strong with that big of a foundation. If you start to constantly looking for something else, it's like, if you're not going to invest in what could be a really good thing, it's like a relationship. When you invest in something, know that this is going to be a good thing. And I know it's hard right now, but I want to see it through and not looking at, well, maybe there's something else better. And it's like, if you continue to think like that, and look, sports is different. You do want to always look for the next best thing. You do want to keep your eyes open for that stuff. And you have a lot more opportunity to go and explore those things. Sure. But at this point, I wouldn't even, it's not worth it. And right before we went on, Baker just called out this blog. Like, what do you mean? And that's pretty powerful too. He's listening. Those guys are always listening.
Yes.
So you want to talk about it. You want to play around with different scenarios. You want to do a lot of what ifs. It's the off season. You're trying to gauge fans and kind of come up with some different types of storylines. But you don't actually do it.
No.
You don't actually do it. Why would you mess things up right now? We're in a really good place.
We are in a very good place, is right. When you lost by 5 points in Arrowhead, 5 points. You could do subtle adjustments to get better. And your whole reaction is, well, we're going to get Deshaun Watson. We played the fucking Texans and the Browns won. Why the fuck would you get Deshaun Watson? By the way, he did not play well in that weather. You want that guy, Mr. Indoor, coming to Cleveland? People got to remember this stuff. Drew Salt, good friend of the show. Can people stop with this Watson shit? I'm with you. I am done.
And Andy, it goes beyond too just Baker or Watson. It's not just that simple. The whole reason also Baker's exceeding is who he has around him. Yeah. The entire organization from top to bottom has changed. We're in a good place. It's just to go in and try to mess that up again. This is what we do. We constantly just keep looking and not really investing. And granted, we haven't really had much to invest in these past however many years, but now we do. So I am, look, I'd be out there shutting down that rumor a lot harder at this point if I were the Browns, but that's just me.
I just can't get over how people forget. It's about a community. We always wanted to, the thing that worried bothered us about the Browns was there's so many fractions. I just went through some of them. There's always these internal fighting with players on the field, off the field, in the building. This is the first time everybody's harmonizing together. And you're getting tantalized by looking at something where it's like, but I could have that. But that may not even be what you think. You're just visualizing. Right. You're not seeing what it is. You're just taking a look at stats and making an assumption. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying that's not the quarterback for here or right now. And maybe probably forever. This is our guy. Baker's our dude. 5 points.
And Andy, if he shits the bed next year, right? And it may not be Deshaun, obviously. It'll probably be someone else, but those conversations are going to be had. Don't worry, Browns fans.
We'll do them.
We'll be talking about it. Like that is not that piece is certainly not up for debate. But right now, I think you're throwing a wrench into something. Even bringing that up, and this was a pretty big. You know who it was?
Dogs Browns Daily.
Dog Pound Daily.
They have some fun. They have some traction. EJ Scalata, Ford versus Ferrari. Ford's built tough, and Baker we trust. I agree with you. Drew Salt again. We're in a very good place. That's why you don't even talk about it. Exactly. Look, the articles are the articles, and whatever else. And everybody's allowed to have their thoughts. By the way, kudos. You gave us something to talk about here on this show. But I'm just going to tell you again, if you're making rationalized decisions, I think that's the best move. You did not pay attention to the Browns. I don't think you paid attention one game. We had a quarterback who grew up in front of our very eyes and almost took us to the playoffs, won us a game in a playoff game, and almost got us to the final fucking four. In a year where no one thought this team was going anywhere. And now you want to fucking bring in Deshaun Watson?
We're exhausting.
We are exhausting, fan base.
We are way sometimes. I don't know. I think that so many years of losing and just the drama and everything has kind of tainted us. I think to a certain extent, and it's kind of hard to not see beyond. I resonate with it just a tiny bit because you do think to yourself, well, what if? Like we're always constantly questioning every move and decision that we make, rightfully so, because that's been our history. So at this point, it's not crazy to question that, but to actually bring it up to the point where you're like, no, this is actually legit. We should probably think about doing this is a whole other situation. But I get that that's who we are. Our DNA as a Browns fan is constantly questioning, and is this enough? I mean, go back to that Onion article. It was like Wednesday or Thursday, and they're like, the Browns fans are worried that the Steelers are going to come back and win the game. Like, it's just
very, very fair.
It's that type of mentality. So I understand it. And look, like you said, this is great. It generates some topics for us to kind of go over and discuss, and it's fun to, different scenarios, but at the end of the day, I mean, Baker's now calling it out on it. Ow, that
I thought that was appropriate. As soon as I saw that today, I was like, it's enough. Mm-hmm. We're out. We're out. Right. Let's go down crazy lane. What the fuck are you going to trade? All your draft picks? You're going to trade away all your draft picks, probably Baker Mayfield, for Deshaun Watson. Why the fuck would you do that? Why the hell? And I think Baker might be better than Deshaun Watson. Sorry. I do.
I don't know about that. I would love to be wrong about that, Andy. I don't know. But I will say this. This conversation is entertainable if Baker gets to the mid pour into the season this past season, and that's where it stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
a different story.
Then yeah, we're going to entertain something different, but that's not the case. We saw him, like you said, grow every week. They all did. So, and again, it's not just him. It's no longer just about, look, the quarterback is by far the most important position, but at the end of the day, that they have to have a good supporting system and a good rapport with everybody, and that's what was being built this year.
Think about this. How many times could have Baker done to Deshaun Watson said, trade me? And he's only been here 2 years now. He could have easily bailed after last year. Easily bailed. You have to be mentally tough to be the quarterback in Cleveland. Mentally strong, mentally tough. Baker proves that. We can get into the X's and O's, all the different stuff, fine. Deshaun Watson, I think, will have a very hard time in the city. I think he would have a very hard time winning. And I think our fan base would get underneath his skin a lot. And I saw a quarterback who did not like cold weather and who did not play well within weather conditions. This is a dome quarterback. He is talented. I don't want to tear him down, but I have to. So I feel like I don't know how else to present this argument.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, does he have room to grow? Yes, but he is growing. I know what's going on here. I like the Stefanski combination with Higgins and OBJ and Hunt and Chubb. I like this. I like this team direction. Think about another year underneath their belts. I think they're going to play motivated. I think they're going to be ready to go. Deshaun Watson coming in here, I mean, can you imagine that fucking circus?
Well, that's what, this kind of leads into what we do with Baker going forward. And I think that's got to be the number one priority.
Yeah, right? It is now.
You got to start with him and kind of set that tone.
Yeah.
Get him locked down the way that you think you need to get him locked down. And honestly, I keep going back and forth of what I want. And I know we can get into that, but I think at least at the very top here, you get that figured out, you get that settled, and that sets the tone for everyone else. And honestly, across obviously all the national media too, because then there's no more debate.
Yeah.
Right. And if he falls, and we're gonna have to deal with whatever those consequences are.
Yeah, I think to what Holly's saying, now to go into that conversation, because obviously you know where I stand and Holly stands, so let's move on. But here's the thing. Actually, I'm going to get to Drew Salt, and I'll get back to what Holly was saying. Drew, it's time to change our DNA like the team changed theirs. Let's quit questioning stuff. Agree. I agree. We've just built this nice nest egg. I actually will compare it to this. It's almost like when people have food or they're dating or whatever, they go, oh, I see that and that. I want that more. But you just told me how much you enjoyed this, or you're enjoying this relationship, or you're enjoying your job, and you're always looking like, stay in the moment. Browns fans, stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. I'm telling you, other years, come on, set the edge. I might even put you on the air. Right now, fuck no. Right. that does not. You just set your organization up to be successful. Mm-hmm. You finally did. That's all we complained about. That's all we were wondering. And we finally did it. And now you want to knock out the most. I just can't. You finally got everything in place. You finally did. And now you want to tear it down for a quarterback who's got numbers that, yes, comparable to Baker's better. It doesn't mean he will do better than Baker. Biggest warning in the world. When you make these trades, it's not plug and play. Everybody goes, what I do is I put this player in, I push play, and boom. That's what's the problem with this. You're plugging and playing. Weather, coaches, guy who was not happy. That bothers me. Nothing against Deshaun, but he's having I don't blame him. He wants to get traded. I get it. So we're going to bring him here. What happens if this happens to us in 2 or 3 years? Is he going to want to get traded again? I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm really glad that we are not the Houston Texans right now.
No,
I mean,
miserable.
They're making our bad years look not that bad.
Hey, we've been down memory lane down there. It's been not quarterback. We've been down memory lane where it's like said players pissed off, coaches mad. I mean, we've been down there, and again, I feel for that fan base. But fuck them. Let them sit and rot.
Right.
By the way, let some other team with draft picks make this decision. Don't put the Browns in this equation. Don't we want a defensive player? Didn't we all agree about that on the last show? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, isn't it? Can't we just focus on what we got? Please. Please.
I mean, I have to laugh at it because it is. Today is a little different. I just saw that when I saw the Baker calling it out, I was like, ooh. But really, at the end of the day, look, the Browns, if they want to, if they really truly believe that Baker's the guy, and I honestly, I keep going back and forth of like, do they extend him? Do they exercise? What do they do? Because there's so many different scenarios and options that could come out of that. I think, though, if they really, truly believe at this point that he is the guy, that we are really building, that they believe in him full, then go for it.
Yeah.
Sign him, pay him a decent, year. I'm thinking like what, 25 million-ish?
Something like that. Pay him what he's worth it. Pay him what he's worth. And here's why. It will set the tone for the rest of that team. You're going to have to start playing other players in this team. That happens. Yeah. This is what happens. And Holly's right. Look, I guess this is maybe where I'm different. I'm not Chicken Little. If we lose a Baker, we lose a Baker, but I get it. And that's what we need to do and have to do.
Well, we're seeing it through, right?
But that's my point.
If we look back now and say he does fail, right? Say next year, say we sign him long term. Sure. And the next, he becomes the next Carson Wentz. I don't know. All of it is a possibility. He shined too, by the way, or Jared Goff, but he shined, by the way, under Stefanski, right? In that regime. So there's a lot of pieces to that. Everything kind of has to come in together for it to be a well-oiled machine. So I think, though, if we look back a couple years later and he does falter, I don't think that anyone would. Well, I take that back. Of course, people are going to be like, well, we should have, blah, 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 right? But those are the risks that you take. And I think at this point, it is worth the risk. He is worth it. I couldn't say that halfway through the season. I can 100% say now that Baker Mayfield is worth the risk. 100%.
Well said. And again, to follow up on what you just said there, I would sign him long-term to set the tone. You have a lot of players here who are very talented who's going to be wanting either A, extra money, or B, to stay in town. If you want people to stay in town, like the Patriots did for a little bit, now they eventually just couldn't keep all the money going. If you want to do that, you got to set the tone with one of your star players. Be like, not only do we like him, we want to keep him here forever. They did a great job without Myles Garrett. I think that helps. I'm a big believer in paying your big-time talented players the money.
Do it now. Do it first.
Yes, do it now.
For everyone else. That's like, this is our guy, and then the rest will follow suit. So.
Yes, because it allows players who are sniffing free agency to say, I actually kind of like it here, is they treat players really nicely. Right. And again, I know people
pay decent too, Andy, on top of it. Then that's the next step, right? You want to be happy and you want to get paid well.
Yes. I cannot believe 18 minutes in, it's all we talked about. But that is an insane thing. Howdy, Damian. Howdy. Don't trade Baker, Damian. We need to keep him. Can't believe we're going down this road. Can't believe it. So to wrap up on that, I would sign Baker long-term. The fifth-year option, I think, is a given. Would Holly Wetzel, GM of the Browns, sign Baker Mayfield long-term, or just pick up the fifth-year option?
This is where I keep going back and forth. I don't know. I can see both scenarios making sense. I think for the Browns, it's you pick up the fifth year, but then, maybe financially it's safer, and then you really talk, but then at the end of that, of 2023, well, then if he does prove to be this awesome franchise QB, well, then that price goes up even more. And we don't know where the cap's going to be at that point. So there's, you want to almost does it make sense? Where do the analytics lie in all of this? And I go back to, you sign him long-term, lock it up.
Yes.
Don't play around. Let's just get to work. So I do end up going to the second option here. And if you trade for Deshaun, you have to do a lot of extra work going into next year. They're not going to do it anyway, so we'll just leave it there. But if you trade for something like that, but it's too much.
Too much. Damian put in a great bow. Yep, let's trade Baker, fire Kevin, and let Chubb walk. Absolutely. It's too much fun winning games this year. Absolutely. Yes. And let's keep Parkey. In a big. I
don't want to talk about Baker again. I don't want to talk about it. Let's go back to Parkey.
When is he gone? Can't we just start bringing in kickers now? I mean, I literally would have a parade line. I would, if I were, is my only note note to anyone, you need to have tryouts today, tomorrow, next week. Kickers all year long. Parade of kickers. Parade of kickers. I want to
open it up to the public, Amy. Let's just see what you got.
Yes. Yes.
You're like the Bachelor of the NFL for kickers.
Oh, Set the Edge will be there to roll out the red carpet. We will be there. I will drive on 80 to be there tomorrow. Who's our kicker?
We'll tag team the Chris Harrison role and just roll with it throughout the offseason.
And we'll give out teas instead of roses. Here's your tea.
There you go.
You've been kept. Too much fun. Damien's got a good sense of humor. I like Damien. Too much fun. Get back to the basics of losing. Yeah, seriously. Let's go back.
It's where we're most comfortable. That's
it's so true. We know those alleys so well.
Misery loves company, and we just love stewing.
We love a good lose. Dude, Holly's so right. We love a good draft. We love a good, wonky road trip. We love things like, oh, your coach is going AWOL. Been there. We know those.
Well, we know. It's where we're comfortable. It's where we're comfortable.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's get out of that. We're out of it. We're not in it anymore. It's like a bad dream. We're woken up.
We, as Browns fans, have been in an abusive relationship. Let's say no. Say no. Just say no. 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 Nancy Reagan, no. God. EJ, do they short option for the team and short squeeze him for all the marbles? GameStop? Oh my gosh. I thought we were gonna have time. I want to talk about GameStop and that crazy. I want to do a film on it. It is such a crazy story right now on Wall Street.
That would actually be very cool.
Oh my gosh, it is insane.
And help explain to me, because I know zilch. I'm just like, is my 401k safe?
Yeah.
What is the Robin Hood thing?
Yes.
David and Goliath references.
Yeah.
It's like all over the place. I don't even know. There's a lot of funny little videos of trying to explain to you what it means. Well, whatever. We're getting all into it now. But anyways,
let's get into a little bit more. We'll go back to the Browns. So everybody hang around. But I'm gonna get into this for seconds. I want to talk about this. This is a now story. So I've actually participated in Robinhood. I like Robinhood a lot. There's a message board which probably Holly knows about and many other people don't. I don't know Reddit. I'm actually not familiar with Reddit at all.
I know Reddit.
Okay. I'm familiar with the other one. That's like a heart shape. I forget that. It's like similar to Reddit, but it's not Reddit. Fuck it. I forget what it's called. Anyways, I know what Reddit does. I've never been on Reddit. I actually had to go on today as I wanted to see what people were talking about. So Reddit has these message boards, and what they decide to do is with Robinhood type of applications. Robinhood's an application you can easily buy and sell stocks, and you can do it like that. I sold and bought stocks over the summer, made some money, and it's very easy. You hit a button, you trade. It's great, and it helps you really keep. It's a rush. If you like gambling, you will love Robinhood. I mean, it is in that mode of you're hearing things, you're listening, you make decisions. It's great, and it keeps you definitely. It's easy. What is nice about it forever, at least in my book, it was hard to understand. Well, how do you buy a stock? What do I call? Do I write something in? What do I do? I had to go to a brokerage house. That has eliminated that process. Now you just do it. And so they've taken it a step further. What they've done, with the help of some others, you can go to Dave Portnoy and all those people in the world. What they've done is they said, okay, we're not only going to buy stocks for Robinhood, we're going to control certain stocks and drive them up, risk them down to make money. Now, in fairness, before we go down this road, this has been going on for a long time in the stock market. And usually it's done by traders or stockbrokers. Hey, we're gonna they call it shorting. We're gonna get everybody in, make a bunch of money, and get the fuck out before it collapses. And it happens all the time. And for one reason or another, there's been several picks. Kodak got picked earlier this year. There are some other ones that got picked, and right now the one is GameStop. Bed Bath & Beyond's in that world too. And AMC Theaters is another one. But let's go to GameStop. GameStop, they are doing it. And they're shorting it. But what they've been finding is people in this world are more of Holly and my age and a little younger, and they play video games. So not only do they like that they're shorting stock, they actually want to see the stock do well. So now they're really saying, because this stock now is so overvaluated, they've actually had to shut the stock down many times. Not once, not twice, multiple times, be like, there's way too much fucking trading. We got to shut this shit down. Like, that's how much it's gotten. So now it has taken over, and analysts and Wall Street is freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like it because the low, let's say middle, upper, and lower. So the upper class has the money. The middle class has the stockbrokers and the brokerage houses. And then there's the lower class, people like us. The lower class has gone around the middleman and trying to go up to the up.
Right.
And there's part like Mark Cuban talked about today. And I thought Mark was right. It's like, whether you like it or not, it's all legal, which he's right. It's all stuff that it's a social media board. I mean, what are you going to do? Buy the stock? It's up to you. It's your money. You can do whatever you want to the money. And what's fascinating is Wall Street can't control it. And now GameStop is so overevaluated. It's not even close to that. But that stock, I think it's gone up like $200 billion in the last week.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
I did see that. It's pretty wild.
It's intensely insane.
It's a whole different world that I just, that helps explain a little bit more. And I've read some things, but it's fascinating. That whole, I don't know. I watch Billions, right? I'm in it. I'm all there.
Right? Yeah, Holly knows this about me. I watch CNBC religiously throughout the day. I am Mr. Sports guy. Like, I read sports, but I am all about CNBC from about 8 a.m. till about 4. And it is fascinating because people don't know what to do. And that's very unusual for the stock market. That's very unusual. That's why they keep saying to shut the fucker down. Just shut it down. Like, I don't know what to do here. There's going to be a lot of discussion about this. And social media, as we all know, hence we're on one. I mean, we all know has a very powerful medium. And we could probably actually do a whole show about this. But the power of this to me is not even the stock market or Robinhood. It's the power of social media. People went on Reddit, decided to select that stock, and decided to go for it. And not only did it just change a movement or change and by the way, that's changed a lot of movements in the last 2 or 3 years because of social media, I would argue. I know it has. Me too, others. This case here, it's like we're going to become financially successful through this. And Wall Street can't fucking stop it.
It's super powerful. It really is. Whether or not I think you agree, it really is. I don't know enough about it to agree with it or not, to be totally honest with you, but it's amazing.
It's almost like if you were to go in with a bunch of people and we're all going to buy something, they're all buying it. And that's what they did here. And what is amazing is people who don't know each other are relating to each other through stories of the stock market and have decided to go on this one stock.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's interesting. Will they stay in that stock? Now, that's a different story. At some point, the plug will be pulled. Right. And now, not to get too nerdy, but I'll go a little bit more. If people go like, well, why is so much trading happening in the stock market? Well, interest rates are still at zero. That once the interest rates are going up,
that'll change things, right?
That will change everything. So there's your stock. Billman here for the stock market minute. You're welcome. Thank you very much. I will break down everything, but it is a fascinating story.
It is.
Andy from EJ, would you have bought if I could have bought them so quickly? Because it was. Here's the thing, EJ. Yes, I would have. We're all here to make money. I've gone into stocks to make a quick buck. I got into Walmart, made some quick bucks. Got into, what did I make over the summer? Walmart was a biggie because Walmart was going to get into TikTok. So I believed in that. So I got into that. Facebook. I made a lot of money on Facebook. So yes, if I'm about the American dream of money. It's like, hey, if you can make money and it's legal,
oh yeah,
go. Here's the only thing, EJ, I would say, and I've learned this not the hard way yet, but I've been careful. The stock market is gambling a little bit, and you can't determine how things go. And I've been told that, and they're right, because there are moments where something tanks, and there's nothing you can fucking do.
Right.
You either get out or you hold on.
I'm not a big risk taker, so I would be not good in those situations. My anxiety would take over. So I don't gamble. I played roulette and I won like $400 once, and then I had too many drinks and I spilled my vodka soda all over the table, and then I pissed people off at the table. It was a whole thing.
Next time I'm in town, I'm going to take you around. Pandemic.
Right. It was the Golden Nugget in Vegas.
Nice.
Love old Vegas.
I do too.
I mean, they were like, I was just following this girl. She was with her dad or something, and just anything she did, I'm like, yep. I'm sitting there, $400. I'm like, yeah. Got my free drink.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love playing craps. I love that stuff. I miss it in a way. I've not been since the pandemic. But Holly's right though. You gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them. I love poker too. Yes, I like EJ. I like Disney a lot too. My old employer, Jimmy Wetzel. I believe someone knows him very well. Hello, Jimmy. Holly, ask your psychic what stocks to buy next. Yeah, seriously, what the hell? That Jimmy, you're thinking.
Actually, by the way, we didn't even really talk about that. Thanks for the reminder, Jim. She predicted the Browns to lose against Kansas City.
Awful.
She did, yeah.
Awful.
And she was right about a lot of weird shit.
We talked
real
about that.
Creepy. But man, she's like, I see red, and I'm like, we got it on video too. I'm almost a little afraid to post it, but it's so funny. But she was great. I don't want to put her on blast either. But I had to ask the question at the end. So, but I will say we were trying to justify it as much as we could, because when we were walking out, my friend's like, she has a Steelers magnet on her fridge, and I'm like, she might have just totally lied, So I kept my mouth shut because I wanted to see what was going to happen, but she was unfortunately right. So
I'm going to be back in Cleveland a lot this year. If Holly Wetzel's down, I will bring my video camera, and I'd like to sit down with the psychic and do a specials at the edge episode. So that would be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Well, she would probably do that. I mean,
yes. So stay tuned. That will be a fun.
Send us your questions. What would you like to know?
Oh my God. It'll be days. We'll be there for days. I was going to talk about OBJ, but we're going to save it for next week. Is Baker Mayfield took it away? There's so much to talk about. Psychic Wall Street. There's so many good Brown stories. We need to layer them. We'll talk about OBJ next week, because we should get to the Cavs and a little bit of tribe. But just real quickly is what we're talking about. Stick with Baker. Don't be silly. Stick with him. He's your guy. Just don't. I know the Browns won't. And fans out there, listen, come here to Uncle Andy. Come here. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. We're going to rub your belly.
Uncle Andy. Ooh, hey, watch it there. Uncle Andy.
I'm gonna rub your belly. I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm gonna rub your belly. I'll be like, look, everything's okay. Everything's okay. We beat the Steelers. Beat them in the playoffs. We beat Tennessee on the road. Shh. Everything's okay.
You're getting going down.
Everything's okay.
I'm turning around.
They're coming here. We're gonna play craps. We're gonna psychic. That's your Browns news on a week that should have nothing going on. Only in Cleveland would there be big Browns news breaking just as we come to set the edge. So there you go. All right, let's talk about the Cavaliers. Talk about another team. Well, actually, here's another one. Trade Rumor Central. Week 3-2. We'll get to the reunion tour stuff at the end. But the biggest one, as my partner Will knows, is the latest Drummond trade rumors, which has been bantering around. The Ringer's Kevin O'Connor says that the Nets are hoping, quote unquote, for a buyout so they can sign him. That makes sense to me. And then Zach Harper at the Athletic is saying it's a matter of time. That's interesting for Drummond before he finds his way to a buyout so he can join the Nets. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I mean, I always take the lead. You take the lead here. What do you think about this stuff? Drummond trade rumors and buying out.
I mean, look, I know that you are like absolutely not. I don't care. I don't really care. I don't. I know that's like probably the worst take I could probably lead with right now, but I really don't. I look, I like him. I think he's been playing well for us this year. Mm-hmm. There's usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So if that's I'm really trying to trust in the Cavs right now. I feel like it's a whole new, we seem to have a lot of faith in our coach, right?
Yes.
We seem to have a good leadership team. Right now they're competitive. They're establishing a good culture. They are establishing an identity.
Yes, they are.
And we're not putting everything around one player like we have in the past.
Yes.
Rightfully so, though, probably obviously with LeBron. But yeah, I just think there's bigger stories with the Cavs than Andre Drummond. And then I know that's
fair, though, too.
but I just don't. It's not leading me when I'm thinking about the Cavs right now. He is not like we get rid of him and we're gonna just derail this whole thing.
Right. Okay.
Not there.
Holly put a good realistic Regina outlook on this, and she's right about a couple of things there. A, Andre Drummond should not be the lead, getting traded or not, because truthfully, right now, what's more amazing is Sexton's career growing the way it is. By the way, similar to Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's really, really grown up this year. Darius Garland having a great bounce back year. He's playing really well. Seeing how that trade went, the Cavs have made a lot of trades, and we should do this another time too. But the Prince, Allen, these guys really fit well with this club. Really do well.
That's the future, Andy. That's what you're doing. So I'm not against it, I guess, but I don't know if I'm totally for it either. Yeah. But I'm trusting that the people that know a lot more about this and what the right move is, that I actually am trusting the Cavs right now. So
yeah, the one storyline I'm not buying for the Cavs is the Cavs will buy him out. The Cavs are the Browns are too. Gilbert's got a lot of money. I don't see him buying out players just because he needs to buy out players. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misleading. Dan, whenever I've been around him and talked to him, is very, very aggressive about winning championships. Very, very, very aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
And does not hide that. Mm-hmm. Does not hide that. Does not like losing. So I don't buy the buyout discussion from that point of view. Here's another thing. I agree with Holly, though, that this is the secondary story, and it is. However, the one thing I like about Drummond is I think he fits in well for his team that has a need. He set before we traded Drummond, the Browns, the Cavs could not handle the paint. The paint was like a walking. Everybody just walked through there, did layups. It was bad. People forget, and that's with Tristan Thompson on the team. And that lane was an open door. With what we have in Drummond and Allen, it wore out Jason Plumlee last night. I've seen it wear out other teams. It is a weapon. It is something where it's like you are setting the tone for the lane, and you have someone to come in and do things like that. I'm going to go back to that phrase. It's finally fixed. It's finally fixed. Don't break it now. And I'll go crazy. I think Drummond will take a lesser deal next year to stay in Cleveland. I do. It would not surprise me. He's made a lot of money. That guy's donated a lot of money through his checks. Oh, man, he's in his late 20s, early 30s. He's getting paid a lot of money. Yeah, and he is a
27. Sorry, that's right.
27.
Yeah,
UConn kid, went to UConn. The biggest thing with Drummond that I like though is I think he will come back. I think you guys, again, it's like I gotta say it's like the Browns. The Cavs are finally on a path, and that's what's been great about this week. This week was Kyrie twice, Tristan, and LeBron, and these weeks usually become like memory lane. Yeah. Remember them? Memory lane. And it actually became like, yeah, but let's win the fucking game. Yeah, but let's win the game. I felt so good as a Cavs fan. I felt finally, we're never forgetting 16, but we're turning the page. I feel like this Cavs team's turned away from that, and I like that a lot.
Right. It's new. I'm with you. I know that you put that in our rundown, and I think that that's a really great point, that like we're kind of just finally moving on a little bit. We're starting our own thing. We're starting our own little club, and I think that it's exciting. Look, at this point, all we can ask for are those few things of progression, of having a good regime, with having respect for each other's players, getting rid of the people that aren't. Yes. And we know who, right? Yeah. And, establishing their own identity. I just think that that's so important, and they're on their way, and it's been fun. They're competitive. They're fun to watch. And and they're holding themselves in most games, and they had a great second half comeback last night. So I'm a Cavs fan, and I'm enjoying it. And that is not what I was going to say when we had Jason Lloyd on here.
No.
Let's just get Jason on here so he can tell me what's going on with the Cavs, because I don't care. Now I'm like, what? Oh. I'm in.
Outside of one blowout in Boston, they've had a good week against tough competition. I mean, the Pistons stink. But, I mean, they beat the Nets twice. And in one of those games, they had the big three. So it wasn't like that was like a layup. Now, the next game they didn't. But they still don't have Kevin Love back. I just like where this team's going. Now, if you want to trade I forget the guy's name now. You want to trade? Oh man, now I'm gonna blank on his name. Oh well, the backup center. the backup center has been playing for us. He's been rumored in these trades too. Yes, JaVale McGee. If you want to trade McGee, I get that. And here's why. I like McGee. I love his personality. He probably wants to play. He's not going to play much anymore. So I understand him.
I would trade him or Love. I would trade Love. I mean, look, well,
Love is tough, I think.
Love is tough, but it's not for the reasons on the court.
I know.
That he brings, and sure, he might have a couple good games here and there, but I just think that he's just kind of turning the corner. We've had many discussions about him, but
Love is a much different. Love is a battlefield. Love is a much different discussion for me, because like then I'm sitting at the table going, I don't agree with it, but I have to admit this is not crazy. Like I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to get mad because I do echo some of the things like that Holly's saying. It's like he shoots a three really well. He does do different things on the floor. Do you have to have Kevin Love? Well, look at the results. Probably not.
Oh, that's what I mean. It's like, are we really missing him? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's tough. Drummond to me is much different. Love, I would keep him, but
I'm with you there. If you want to compare those two of who you're getting rid of, then I'm on your end there for sure.
Shipping out. And again, the other thing too that bothers me about this Drummond thing, why would we help the Nets? Why do we have to help the Nets? I don't understand. That I know, but come on. Let's just win game. It's so fun. Holly just said it. I just like this team. I'm starting to feel a bond with this team. I'll do two more. I liked how Windler played, the rookie. I like how he's scrappy. He was scrapping it with Plumlee. I like that. He has that inner dog mentality. He does not back down. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. And I really can't say enough about this kid Prince from the Nets. I shouldn't say the kid. He's an older guy in the league. He is good. He is a good
impression since he's been here. I like him, and
I do.
That's what I mean. I have faith here. I really do. I think so far. I mean, it's early, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Kevin Atkins is here, but like, yeah, are we going to cut the Nets down? No, but like, are we going to go to the playoffs? I think so. Yeah, I do.
And I couldn't say that 2 weeks ago. You were saying that. I was like, what? No. But now I'm like, well, my tune's changed a little bit. We have an opportunity here. That it's not crazy to think that they're still holding their own. So
I think they're going to get better. It's like the Browns. I really do think the Cavs are going to get better. I don't think we've seen the best Cavs yet. I don't.
No, I don't. And I mean, he is just
good for him. I heard he's such a good guy. I'm so happy for Holland. Yeah. Good for him. He's gotten a lot of crap from Cavs fans, from press, from everybody. Good for Colin Sexton. Good for Colin Sexton. He's proved a lot of us wrong. I shouldn't say us, but he's proved a lot of us wrong. True Salt. Should we trade Love or Drummond? Well, to repeat, I would trade Love if you have to. I'm sorry. You can't. Holly knows. Damian knows. You can't get me on Drummond. Sorry.
Love ship has sailed.
Yeah, I do too. The only thing that I will give to Holly, see, now I'm going more and more on the other boat now. Here's the other thing too. Love did look old when he played this year. He looked old.
Yeah.
He looked old. I mean, he's a strappingly handsome gentleman, but he looked old.
No, looks don't get you everywhere.
It does. No, it doesn't. He looked old. I'll leave it there. He looked old. Cavs playing Knicks Friday. Come join me after the game. Maybe Holly Wetzel once in a while, poking her head. Come and talk in post game. We'll break the. We'll talk more about that. They play the Timberwolves, I believe, too, after that. But it's been a good run for the Cavs. If people have not watched, and maybe there's some of you out there, I would start watching. That's my last note on this. You need to start watching the Cavs.
I would end it for sure.
Yeah, this is not like, oh, it's fake. This is not fake. This is not one of those like we've all been there where it's like we have these whimsical trips to Denver and we win somehow. And it's like, oh, we're finally good. And then we lose 10 in a row. Like, this is legit. I'm telling you.
It is. It is, for sure. And this is more pleasantly surprised.
Yes. Should the Cavs I want to ask you real quickly. The Cavs are fighting hard to get more fans in the arena. I think they're right now right around, what was it, around about 1,500 to 2,000. Now they're trying to get closer to 3 or 4 even, which sounds like a lot. Wow, it's amazing. I will say last night you could feel them. You could definitely feel them in a Laker game. It's nice to feel those fans for safety reasons. If they can get them in safe, I say do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a crapshoot of a question because it's like you really can go either way and you don't know. I don't know. Have you seen, by the way, speaking of this stuff, these corona sniffing dogs? This is a legitimate thing, Andy. I don't understand how that works.
Dogs are great. Dogs are great.
Well, what's the corona scent? Like, I don't understand. What's the that's a thing. I thought it was like fake. I thought they were like joking. It's like, nope, that's actually real. They're really doing that at certain places. I don't know. Look, if the vaccine situation is going to go the way that our new president says, then by the summer there should be a mass vaccine,
herd immunity,
right? Herd immunity. Yeah, I was worried for the right term there. So granted, now look, the NBA is going to be obviously done then, but at the same time, there's going to be more and more people getting vaccinated. I know personally, a lot of people I actually know have already gotten their second or getting their second vaccine already. Yeah. So it's moving along. But if they can do it safely, I mean, look at the freaking Super Bowl, man. Money talks. Super Bowl's got they're having 22,000 people at the Super Bowl. 22,000. That's a lot of people.
Holly, the Browns are in the Super Bowl. Would you go down this year?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm standing outside. I mean, look, I got my mask on, right? Like whatever, but yeah, you know.
Set the Edge would have done live stuff at the piers of Tampa. I would have been there tomorrow.
And it's Tampa.
Huh?
And it's Tampa. Like I'd be down.
Tampa. Oh yeah, it's gotta be warmer. It is so fucking cold in Connecticut. It is depressing.
It's cold here in Cleveland too. It's like mid-20s. I'll tell you what, Andy, I have not been able to run outside in like 2 weeks.
Yep. Holly and I are runners. I do not run December, January, February. I don't do it. I'll start pulling hamstrings and it'll be bad. Can't do it.
Down a completely like rabbit hole here, but my newest fixation is
I know you're going.
The Peloton app, Andy. I am part of the family. I am in. I've been accepted, and I don't have a Peloton. I'm cheap. Okay, I'm cheap.
The YMCA though.
My gym membership treadmill. Okay, and I'm on that thing, busting my ass with all the different workouts on Peloton. They have awesome treadmill runs. And I hate the treadmill. So this has just made my life these last 2 weeks. And I'm just trucking through doing endurance runs, doing 30-minute, you can pick your music. Hip hop run? Sure. Country music? Sure. Pop music? Sure. Classic rock run? Sure. They got it all. And I haven't even gone into the yoga yet. I haven't gone into, which I need to do for stretching. You know, there's just infinite amount of fantastic things, and they're talking to you and they're like kind of coaching you, but they're not like in your like screaming at you, you know, just like a really nice balance. And Peloton, if you need a sponsor, just the app for the rest cheap asses here, okay, who just want the app and can't afford your bike. I'm here. If
you'd like to send a bike, I'm sure Holly Wetzel will be available to take your bike.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for her, but I will.
I'll take the bike. I actually take the tread. It's the tread. It's the cool way to say. So just push up the tread for the and I'm like hitting my
application, whatever the fuck it is. You know what's so cool? I haven't been in the gym so long. I'm like, tread? I'm like, what did you do? Oh, treadmill. Oh.
Well, yeah. Well, they call it the Peloton version is called the tread.
Oh.
It's called the tread, and it's very fancy. And you just have to slide the dial up to go faster. I'm pushing that button to make myself go up the whole time.
I see you're a real workout. I want to see I get to see guys in khaki pants doing this, and it really annoy me.
Well, this is I don't know. I mean, they even have like walking ones. They even have an outdoor run where they just like talk to you, which I've not done that yet, but I want to. But yeah, I mean, it saved these last 2 weeks I've been inside, and
it's too cold.
So anyway. Back to your normal scheduled sports talk.
So Peloton and buy GameStop. Learning a lot here today and Set the Edge. And don't fucking trade for Deshaun Watson. Nate Williams. Good. Nice to have you on the show, Nate. Would LeBron come back at the end of his career to finish out his career? That's an interesting question. That's actually a good topic. Say he's in his 40s. Maybe we draft his son. Boy, I've heard that a lot of rumors on social media boards, drafting Bronny to come to Cleveland. Boy, oh boy. I just know how the world works. I don't think that's in his cards at all thinking right now. However, I don't think it was in his cards of world of thinking of him coming back the second time. So I know how the world works. He is from this area of the country. If the Cavs really got hot, could I see LeBron making a comeback in 2025, 2024? Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I mean, I can see maybe for his last year. He's 36, which is just crazy. Like
That's
older.
amazing.
It's amazing what he's still doing at 36. But yeah, I mean, maybe his last season for a good chunk of dough. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the situation that Cleveland's in, and it also depends on how he does with the Lakers now here. I mean, I was a firm believer that if they would have won in Miami that last year, that he would have stayed. That's my
absolutely.
opinion. So, I just think that depending on how the Lakers do here, if he starts to build something there, that legacy from Kobe, I just could see it. I mean, him going there, it all kind of just, all those puzzle pieces fit together, especially what happened with Kobe Bryant last year. Like, I'm like, they're going to win. They're going to win.
Yeah. I'm with.
It depends what his legacy ends up being in LA.
To Wetzel's point, it's not happening this year, next year. No chance.
No. I mean, I'm talking like the last year of his
2024, 2025 stuff. God, can you imagine he plays in his 40s like this? He is okay.
I don't see he's the Tom Brady of the NFL of the NBA for sure. I mean, he's just
great.
Tom Brady. I can't even wrap my head around that man, by the way.
I'm not impressed he's been in 10 Super Bowls. Not impressed.
Andy.
Nope.
I'm not like this big Tom Brady fan, but man, oh man, that man is unbelievable. He is not human.
It's unbelievable. It's impressive. If he wins a Super Bowl, it is a jump up in legacy, which is amazing for me to say. Look, I poo-poo him because I live in this area of the country and everybody loves Tom. To be fair, the guy's unbelievable. And that was a stinging loss for Aaron Rodgers. And that was a beautiful win for Brady. For him to walk in the door, go into Green Bay, and win like that.
Taking Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl, Andy. I mean, that was unbelievable, especially I think in the NFL. I don't know. There's just I did not think that he would be in the Super Bowl this year. I just didn't. I just thought, okay, this is going to be his last year, and it's just going to kind of not tank by any means, but just kind of,
Gronk running routes. It's amazing. Gronk running routes. It's amazing. I'm with Holly. I can't get over it. Cannot get over it. It is amazing. I have my Indians gear on, so I'll do a quick 2 minutes on the Indians. They signed Cesar Hernandez. That's exciting. I love that trade. Is that trade big and splashy? Absolutely not. Is that trade going to get people on the ticket aisle? Nope. I love Holly's face right now.
Commercial break for me. I'm just going to step out because at the Indians right now. I'm just angry at them as an organization right now of just taking a shit right here. I don't know how to better explain it. And it's so frustrating because I know that it's not Antonetti's fault. I like Chris Antonetti, and I think he's only trying to do what he can with what he has. I think it's an ownership thing. And I wish that there was some just more, what I'm mad about, Andy, and what I talked about before is I'm mad that that the ownership has just been a complete no-show. There's no, you want to talk about ownership? Well, then own what you're doing. Own these moves that you're making. Own up to the fact that this is what your thinking is. There's so many changes with the Indians right now. How are you just sitting behind the scenes and not getting in front and saying, this is our plan and we're confident? Because at the very least, you can say like, well, at least they have a plan and they're confident in it and they have this, and this that they're going to be working through. There's nothing. There's nothing.
They are living off Groupons and coupons. 2 firsts. Trade Lindor for 2 shortstops.
And just show your face and just make it like, come on, like there's that's just really frustrating to me that this is how they've been carrying things out. And that has nothing to do with anyone with the staff there or like I said with Antonetti or any of those guys. It has to do with the ownership of just kind of letting things and let everyone else take a bullet for them. And I don't like that.
I think Holly's making a lot of good points here, and I'm going to go a step further. Baseball has got a lot of it feels like an old, stale sport to me. Will I watch every Indians game? Yes, I love baseball. Would I be surprised if everybody doesn't watch every baseball game? Me? No, I wouldn't. Like, it's an old stale sport. They just had the Hall of Fame vote, and no one got voted in. And Kirk Schilling had a conniption on social media, and that got more talk than anything else. Baseball has got it'll figure its way out. Long ways to go.
That's another conversation too of where the game of baseball is going and trying to evolve for sure.
But I think it's hurting the Indians. I do, because it's putting clamps on
anything.
Yeah,
in that sense. Because then if you look on the other side of things, Andy, again from a stadium standpoint, right, and all the work that they've done in the stadium and trying to make it as fan-friendly and family-friendly as they possibly can and affordable. I mean, they're doing all of these really great things. They're trying to stay ahead of the curve now, right? They're going to change their name, and you would think they would capitalize on this whole, like, we're reinventing ourselves. Also, maybe with the team, but that's let's just like put that behind. I mean, how do you expect someone to get amped about it when you won't even talk about it?
I agree. I will be there. I'll be excited. But if I don't say, someone goes like, I don't care about Rosario, I'll be like, I get it. It's hard. We just talked about how we want to keep Baker, how we want to keep Drummond. Boy, if you love trades, you'll love the Indians. We trade there.
I love baseball, and I'll go to games, on a nice possible standing room only ticket, or maybe one of my hopeful connections that I still have some way, shape, or form. I don't know, but my faith is just, it's going to be as a form of a summer evening entertainment, not I can't wait to see what they do tonight because it's one step closer to where we need to be to the playoffs.
For the first time in a long time, it feels like an exercise in futility.
Right.
Where you're just going like, the Indians have the Cy Young Award. Wouldn't know it. There's just nothing. I'm going to give more and more as we're getting closer to spring training. I know it's crazy, but it is. And they're still saying in baseball they're going to open up the gates on time. A big storyline for the Indians. I know people hate to hear this, but Holly hit them all, so I'm going to bring it up. You have to watch this AAA stuff, minor league stuff. The Indians need those minor league parks. They rely on these minor league players. Another year of not having minor league baseball would really hurt the Indians. Not them in their wallets, but to their players' development.
And I really enjoy actually minor league games.
I do too. It's a big storyline. We'll do NBC Peacock next week. God knows we'll probably have another Baker trading story for Deshaun Watson by then. So we'll do that. We'll do that too. What a week.
Next week too.
OBJ we will unravel that. Favorite game memories, all sorts of things. Peloton, psychic hotline, all good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Follow me on Peloton, everyone. Add me, Holly and Wetzel. One word. Let's be Peloton friends.
Do you know what I bought? All right, I went on this. Do you know what I bought? Does anybody remember the Gazelle? Anybody remember the Gazelle?
Oh, was that a what's his face?
Tony Little.
Tony, that's right.
I bought a Gazelle.
When?
Yes, a couple days ago. My son and I put it together.
Where did you buy that?
Amazon. $150. $150.
Well, there you go. You can buy like exercise bikes at Costco.
I know. I love Gazelle. I'm not a biker.
Hey, Andy, I'm learning. Just dating yourself.
Tybo. Oh, good.
Barry's boot camp.
I want to talk about my chat room tonight. It's gonna be great. Keyword cool.
Not Andy on the Peloton app anytime soon. That doesn't matter.
I will be. I know. I'm gonna prove my partner wrong. I will. I got a whole bunch of.
You at me, I'll believe it.
Okay. I'll tell you what. If you join me in my Nike running club, you can see my real sad numbers on there. I will join you on your Peloton thing.
Well, yeah.
And we can run against each other and see. And I won't even say it's gonna be embarrassing. I can't. I'm not fast.
Sorry.
I'm consistent. I'm good, but I'm not quick.
Yep.
Enjoy the Cavs is my big note. Forget this trade Deshaun Watson stuff. Forget it. EJ Scalata really hit it out of the park. Ownership sucks for the tribe. They're Debbie Downers. And they will remind you in press quotes about it too. Anytime. They're there They're there to help you out in case you think like, hey, is anything going on with the Indians and anything going on negative? Oh, don't you worry. Dylan's there real quickly. All right. For those people who don't know, my kids love calling me all the time. So now my kids are like berating and calling me, which tells me, now is it an hour into the show, it's time to go. I hope everybody has a great week. We'll be back next week on Set the Edge. Holly Wetzel there. I'm Andy Billman here. Real quickly, what do you my kids are the best. I love my kids. They just do, everybody. I love kids. They're great. They call and they call and they call and they're wonderful. And I love them. I hug them. And they don't understand, like, give me 5 minutes and I gotcha.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
No. I don't even remember what question I was going to ask. Good night. Goodbye. Go Cavs. Go Tribe. Kind of. No, go Tribe. Go Tribe. Cameron Billman, I'm calling if you're watching.